Buried is an interactive story. The plot will change based on the choices you make. The story is broken into 5 chapters. Play straight through or at your own pace. There's no waiting and no pauses. Enjoy and choose wisely. Hey guys, it's Twisty, and welcome to the first episode of Buried, an interactive story. So let's go ahead and get started. So spoopy. I open my eyes and the first thing I want to do is scream. I'm flat on my back and everything seems to hurt. The trees overhead look familiar. It's a clear night sky, almost beautiful. Except for the fact that this means I've been out cold for at least 6 hours. But there's something wrong. I don't remember what, but something happened and my head, my God, my head hurts. And a ringing in my ears. Was there an accident? An explosion, I think. I remember hearing Dennis screaming, but after that, I can't remember. As I sit up, I notice that my hard hat has been thrown off. I look around the area, but it's not here. It feels strange to go anywhere without my hard hat, but I've got to find the other members of the crew. They could be in danger. So this game is completely based on choices. So we can search for the hard hat, or we can forget the hat and search for the crew. My first instinct says to forget the hat and search for the crew, but I might need my hard hat later. I'm gonna say we're gonna forget the hat and search for the crew. I decide my hat can wait until I figure out what's going on. I get up and take a look around the logging site. I smell something burning, and I don't hear any engines running. Wait, something isn't right. Was it the bulldozer? Maybe the damn thing overheated for the last time. Maybe the engine finally blew. What a mess. Well, maybe I'm jumping to conclusions. Only one way to find out, I guess. I walk over to the center of the logging site, and I don't like what I see. This ambience, though, oh my gosh. The bass is real right now. That doesn't look good. The logging site looks like a bomb was detonated right in the center. I don't know where to start. The one load we had managed to stack on a truck for the day is overturned, the trailer bent and the logs hanging off the back. Where the hell is everyone? My head is killing me and this ringing in my ears. I can't hear anything. Not birds, not my footsteps, nothing. It makes me wonder if I hit my head after my hard hat flew off. I run through a quick mental checklist to make sure my brain is still working. My name is Roger Hastings. I'm 41 years old. The year is 2017. I own a small logging company and we've been logging in this strip of Kentucky woodland for almost a month now. Okay, so my brain works. That's a relief, but it also makes me fearful because something is certainly not right here. I look around the logging site, my mind trying to figure out what has happened. Just about every piece of equipment has been overturned or tilted. This cannot be good. Okay, look at the debris or look at the truck? I guess I'm gonna look at the debris and... I mean, because the truck looks like it's been tilted over, so I think we're gonna look at the debris. There are bits of debris everywhere. There are fragments of the 5-gallon bucket I keep our work rags in, a loose saw chain, and an overturned gas canister. Had there been an explosion, all of the fuel on site would have started a fire. But there's no charring, no burning, nothing. I walk through the area where Dennis had been working. From the looks of it, he'd been moving slowly. He'd only taken down 4 trees today. His metal lunchbox is open, an indicator that he had been taking an early break. But he's not here. No one is here. Where the hell is everyone? I could try to make a call on my cell phone, but its battery is already running really low. Not that it matters. Reception is crap out here. Well... I mean, the battery is running low, reception is crap. Like, I think calling someone on the cell is gonna be kind of pointless, so we're gonna yell out and, hope that someone hears us. Hey guys, where is everyone? Tony, Dennis, Frank, Joe? But their names fall flat among the wreckage. I get nothing back other than scaring away a few birds overhead. Might as well start walking and try to find some answers. The highway is almost a mile back through the woods, down the gravel road we used to reach the site. Maybe the crew ran that way for help. But why would they have left me? Were they scared? Out of sorts? Maybe I can catch up to them. But with my truck turned over on its side, it looks like I'll be walking. My God, I can't even remember what I was doing before waking up on my back. Wait, what's that underneath the bulldozer? Oh my God, it's a leg. It has to be either Tony or Dennis. Oh God. The dozer looks unstable, like it might roll some more. Might not be safe to get close, but at the same time, I can't just leave him there. Oh God. I don't want to look, but my morbid curiosity tells me that I should look, even though we're gonna go look. Ugh, this is probably a bad idea. Hey, I yell, are you okay? Are you alive? I don't think he's alive. He's underneath the bulldozer. I skip over the stray logs and wrecked equipment to get closer. Seeing the dozer teeter makes me think maybe I should have grabbed my hat. I can see a bit more of the leg. The jeans are soaked in blood. I recognize the work boots. It's clearly Tony. His leg is bent at an impossible angle, nearly crushed flat. The closer I get, the more apparent it becomes that Tony didn't survive. Do we leave the body alone or do we pull the body out? I don't want to, leave him like that, but at the same time, I think it might be a bad idea to try to pull it out from underneath a bulldozer. I think logically, I think it's a bad idea to try to mess with the body. I don't think that's a good idea. So sorry, Tony, but we're gonna leave the body alone. There's nothing I can do for him now. I start to back away slowly. In my shock, I stumble back, suddenly tripping over one of the stray logs. I bang my head hard on one of the logs as I fall. Instantly, I can feel a massive lump forming in the back of my head. Should have grabbed my hard hat. Damn it. Damn, why didn't I grab my hard hat? But what hurts more is the realization that Tony is dead. Looking at him, I feel something rising up in my throat, and I don't know if it's a scream or vomit. But I have to push it away. If I lose my cool right now, there are too many questions that will go unanswered. Shit, I can't believe this. Tony, he had 2 boys. He coached his oldest son's baseball team. He was the hardest worker I had and one of the most honest and reliable men I knew. This isn't right. I can't stay here. I have to find Dennis, Frank, and Joe. I have to find out what's happened here. Oh my goodness. This can't be good. I should have grabbed my hard hat. Damn it. Alright, well, I guess we're gonna continue. I really like the background pictures. I like how this isn't necessarily like a first person sort of thing. Like, it gives you just a background image and then some ambience. As I walk through the stacks of logs from last week or so of work, everything feels frozen. This high-pitched sound in my ears. It's terrible. It keeps happening every few seconds and sounds like it's coming from far away. I can't help but wonder, is it my ears or is it something else? The silence out here is creepy, and there's a smell. Like the atmosphere after a bad summer storm. I might as well admit it. I'm a little scared. Everyone is missing and it's dead quiet out here. There doesn't seem to be even a breeze to rustle the leaves and branches. My right knee hurts like hell. My head is hurting so bad before that I never even noticed the pain in my knee. I must have heard it during the what? Accident or... Wait, is that Dennis? I see him sitting on the ground, motionless, about 30 feet away. Yell out or walk up. I mean, if he's sitting there motionless, I mean, I don't know if he's okay or not, but if he's, like, awake, I don't know if... I don't want to, like, startle him. I think we're gonna... I think I'm gonna walk up to him. We're gonna stay calm. He's just sitting there, not moving. I walk up slowly next to him. Dennis. Hey man, can you hear me? I tap him on the shoulder. He looks up at me from the ground, clearly coming out of a daze. Yeah, Roger, I hear you. Roger. Airplane reference. Dennis is built like a wrestler and has a tough personality to match. But in this moment, he looks disoriented and even a little anxious. Though I'm glad to see him, the fear on his usually confident face is alarming. What the hell happened? What is going on, he asks. Don't know, the crew's missing or an explosion, I think. I mean, we don't know it's an explosion, but, I mean, I think we should tell him that the crew's missing. I think that's one of the biggest things, is that he and I are the only ones right now. Don't know, the crew is missing. Missing, Dennis says. Where do you think they went? I'm not sure, I say, but it has me pretty freaked out. Something's not right here. Still sitting on the ground, he looks around the woods, as if he is just now understanding the severity of the situation. The equipment was overturned. The dozers, too, I say, wiping my forehead. You okay, I ask him. Yeah, just shaken up. Me too. This might be the most intimate conversation Dennis and I have ever had. While he and I have always been on good terms, we've never been particularly close. I've always respected him, though. Sure, he's come to work a few times looking like he'd been in a bar fight the night before, but I've also seen him do an enthusiastic impression of a dinosaur as he played with Tony's kids while they waited for their dad to finish up his shift. Aw, that's cute. It's then that it hits me. Dennis and Tony were good friends. I'm not sure I want to rattle him with the news of Tony's death right now. Not before we know what's going on, but he has a right to know. He has to know. If him and Tony were buddies, like, I would have to tell him. I can't just, like, leave that sort of thing. I mean, we could play it off as like, oh, well, I didn't know that he died, but I really do think that he deserves to know. Tony is dead. You were upfront about Dennis about Tony. This is very much like Walking Dead choices. Dennis's eyes fixate on me, startled. He was crushed under the dozer, I say. Dennis pauses for a moment like he's trying to understand what I said. His eyes narrow and his bottom lip quivers. Shit, he says, and I can tell that he is fighting back tears. He and Tony had been tight, almost like brothers. Hey, he adds quickly as if trying to escape the reality of Tony's death. Did you see that light? No, I say. What did you see? I don't even know, Roger, he says. It was like this flare of white light. It came right up out of the ground, like an explosion. So there was an explosion, I say. Maybe it was some equipment, or... This was no equipment, Dennis interrupts, agitated. This huge ball of light came right out of the damn ground. What did it look like? Or where did it go? I want to know what it looks like. What did it look like? Like looking into the sun, he says. It just feels like someone stabbed me in the eyes with a hot knife. When? I'm not sure, he answers, but I had finished about 10 trees for the day and was about to top one. That's when it happened. You were almost done with 10 trees, I ask? Yeah, he says, looking at the ground. You know, I wouldn't want to take a lunch break until I was done. And that's when the light blew up. Why? You don't believe me? I mean, my character made the judgment that he had only worked on about 4 trees that day, but I don't want to agitate him. He already seems pretty agitated. He seems pretty shaken right now, and I don't want to make any accusations of his work right now. I think we've got bigger things to worry about right now, so I'm going to say I believe you. You believe Dennis' story. He saw what he saw, I think to myself. He has no reason to lie about this. My God, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, he says, but if I'm being honest, it scared me pretty bad. And if it's all the same to you, I'd like to get the hell out of here. We both stand up and start heading towards the road. It isn't until we start moving that I see Dennis is wounded. His right side is coated in blood, the red seeping through his blue work shirt. There are splatters of it here and there, but also a very large red splotch that makes me worry. Are you in a lot of pain? I would think he'd be in a lot of pain. I think I want to know more of how he got the injury. Like, I want to be concerning, but I feel like he would just be like, yeah, of course I'm in pain. Or he'd be like, no, doesn't hurt at all. Like, he's clearly bleeding. He's got an issue, but I want to ask how he got the injury. I'm not sure, Dennis replies. I must have gotten thrown or hurt somehow from that light. It's then that I notice that the strange ringing noise is still filling the air. Hey, I say, stopping. Do you hear that high-pitched ringing noise every once in a while? Dennis looks scared when I ask him this question, and he just nods. I thought it was just me, he says. He looks out of sorts and uncertain. I've never seen him like this before. It's obvious that he's looking for some reassurance. Even though I'm his boss, there's something very unnerving about this. I mean, he's looking for reassurance. So I mean, I don't know if it would be more reassuring to say him, well, it'll be okay, it's probably nothing, or yeah, it's like being relatable and saying, yeah, it's kind of freaking me out too. I'm gonna be honest and I'm gonna say it's freaking me out. I'm sure he sounds scared, but I don't really care. I look to Dennis and see that my confusion and fear have seeped into him. Ah, shit. And is that disappointment in his expression as well? I think so. So he's like looking up to me to like give him some reassurance. I'm like, oh, we'll be fine, but I don't want to like sugarcoat things. It's as if he expects me to be stronger, to assure him that we're fine and nothing out of the ordinary is happening. We both start moving forward and don't say another word. Did you try to call Frank? Dennis asks. I know we had a cell on him today. Not yet. Luckily, I still have some battery left. I pull up my cell and call Frank, happy I didn't make that call to Dennis earlier. It rings, but he doesn't pick up. But then I hear his phone go off behind the stack of logs. Dennis and I each give each other a look. As the phone goes to voicemail, I hang up, and we walk behind the logs to find Frank's phone on the ground, abandoned. We look around for Frank, but find nothing. Not a single trace. It's then that I notice something really odd. A 10-foot wide hole in the ground, right near where the phone was. But there's no stray piles of removed dirt or rocks. It's clean, smoothly dug, cutting into the earth. Wide, but only a few feet deep. It looks unnatural, like the ground was just deleted. No shovels or diggers used. Dennis walks over to it. This looks like the same kind of hole where I saw that light come from the ground, he muses to himself. I say nothing. My mind is spinning, but I don't know what to think. We need to get out of here, Dennis mutters. At that moment, the ringing noise carries through the forest again, sending a shiver down my spine. Dennis is right. There's something strange going on, and we might not be safe here. But that ringing sound could be a clue to where the rest of the crew went. No, let's check out that sound, or let's get away from here. If I were in this situation, I would probably say, let's get the fuck out of here. My curiosity says that we should check out the sound, but I do think that we should leave. We decided to avoid the sound. With that, we turn and start walking to the west, in the direction that I'm pretty certain leads to the road. Pretty certain? I mean, you've been working in this place for a while. I would think you would know where the road is, but okay. Ooh, so spooky. It's sort of embarrassing. I've been a logger for nearly 15 years, but I'm finding it easy to get lost in these woods. The trees are so thick in places that the moonlight doesn't even reach the ground. It's easy to get turned around. My only hope is that I can find the overgrown dirt road that will lead us back to the highway. You sure we're headed in the right way? Dennis asks. Pretty sure, I say. I turn to him and see that he's clearly in pain. It's at this moment we come upon another one of those smooth holes. This one is even stranger because a nearby tree also has a chunk cut out of it. The arc goes smoothly through the ground and then up through the trunk, like a cartoon wrecking ball blasted through both of them. What the hell are these things? Dennis whispers to himself. He takes a step into the hole, his boots creating imperfections in the shape, like footprints on a sand dune. I don't know if I would step in it. I don't know if I would get into that hole. I'm gonna say we're gonna walk around the perimeter. Not get into that hole. No, thank you. I walk around the edge, each step sending pebbles down into the hole and ruining its perfect shape. I'm amazed at how smooth it is. Even rocks that were under the earth have been sheared to fit the spherical shape. But as I'm noticing this, I notice Dennis's feet start to sag. Up! Don't get in the hole! Dennis, get out! I start, but I don't finish. Before he can react, the ground is giving way and he's falling. I try to step back, but the fissure that opens up disintegrates the ground beneath my feet as well. I cry out in surprise, and I can barely hear Dennis letting out a curse as we go down to the earth. Oh, shit. Well, that's not good. Guess it wouldn't have mattered if I got in the hole or not. Oh my god, it's like a forest cave. The cave from the game Forest. As long as there's no cannibals. The fall isn't a long one, but when I hit something a few seconds later, it hurts like hell. The wind goes rushing out of me when I hit, and a sharp pain flies through me. What the hell? I say once my breath is back. Beside me, Dennis is slowly rolling over to get to his feet. I look up and see the hole in the ground where we fell through. It looks to be about 10 feet over our heads. It's completely dark, but there's a small flicker of light further into the cave ahead of us, and a solid wall of rock behind us. Looks like the only ways out are further down the cave, or up through the way we fell in. Dennis might be able to boost me up there, but with his injury, I'm not sure how stable he is. He might drop me. Okay, so if we try to climb out of this hole, like, he has to boost me, or I have to boost him. And either way, he's injured. It looks like he's got an injury in his side. I don't know how well he'd be able to boost me, and once he's up there, I don't know if he'd be able to help me up. But I also don't know about heading into the cave. That also seems like a bad choice. But I don't want to injure him anymore. Like, I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk trying to climb out. It's 10 feet. Even if he were to make it out, I don't think he'd be able to... I don't know. I'm going to say we're going to head into the cave. I don't want to risk injuring him or myself anymore. So we're going to head into the cave, I guess. I decide we better not risk hurting ourselves trying to climb out. As we turn to head into the cave, I take a closer look at the light further ahead and realize it's artificial. We both start heading towards it instinctively. As we step into the light, panic gently gnaws at me because what I'm seeing makes absolutely no sense. It's no longer a cave or hole. It's a long, sparsely lit corridor. Oh, hello. I don't like this. It's a massive corridor. In fact, it seems to go on forever. This corridor is mostly dark, with emergency lights every 10 feet or so. I turn to my left and see that there's a door which appears to lead upwards to the outside, but it's locked tight. I push as hard as I can, but no luck. Dennis, help me with this, I say. He comes over and we both try to kick the door open, but it doesn't budge. For some reason, someone doesn't want people getting out of here. Looks like we're headed down the hallway. Tiptoe quietly or walk quickly? I'm gonna say we're gonna try to be as quiet as possible, because I don't know what the hell is down here. I don't want to... Yeah. If I were in this situation, I would probably walk as quietly as possible. I feel like a ghost, like I truly have no business being here. Dennis leans on me for support. We move slowly, our feet not making a sound. Right, and he can't walk very well anyways. If anyone is in here, I want to make sure they don't hear us. We tiptoe forward as softly as we can. As I carry Dennis to the far end of this otherwise featureless place, I see a flight of concrete stairs leading down. I have to set Dennis down on the floor. His weight is killing me. Dennis, are you okay? Stop worrying, man, he says. I'll be okay. I just need a minute to rest. But looking at him, I'm not so sure. I can still hear the ringing noise every so often, coming from somewhere in here. I look ahead at the concrete stairs, pointing towards them so that Dennis sees them. Can you make it down those stairs, I ask? He stands up slowly and is visibly making an effort to not fall back down. Yeah, he says, and sounds a little irritated. He starts for the stairs without me, and I have no choice but to follow. We approach the stairs, and by just looking at them, I get the sense that we're crossing some sort of a line here. There may very well be no going back. We have no business being here! Oh, creepy stairs. As I head down the stairs, I notice that they look aged. That damn ringing noise is somewhere below, louder than ever. I feel like I'm walking down into the cellar of a haunted house, the light becoming scarce as the stairs take a slight turn. I can feel the temperature drop. Dennis makes it a few steps down before he's leaning on the wall. He's breathing like he just finished a marathon. We're gonna pause to give him a break. We're not gonna keep up the pace. I don't want to push him too much. He's already kind of irritated with the fact that I was like, hey, can you get down those stairs? And he's like, yeah, fine, I can get down the stairs. I'm a big boy. He seems kind of irritated with me. Let's take a break, I say, putting my hand towards his shoulder to help steady him. Dennis lets out a sigh. Thanks. I don't feel too great, boss. As we both squat down on a stair, my mind seems to lock in on the unknown fate of the rest of my crew. Frank is married, and I've met his wife a few times. A nice woman with a huge laugh. My heart sags a bit when I realize I might never again get to hear him belting out classic rock tunes during a lunch break. Joe? Well, I don't know too much about him. He's 22 years old and is considering community college. His folks are deadbeats, so he has been providing for himself since the age of 16 or so. Maybe I can still find them, and still get to hear Frank singing in his deep baritone voice after a few too many drinks. After a few moments, Dennis says, All right, let's keep going. We both stand up, leaning on each other. I have to make Dennis stay behind me as I stick my foot out in search of the next step. I can't help feeling like a child as a very powerful fear seizes me. I'm expecting a monster to reach out of the darkness, slicing into my throat. After what feels like forever, we come to the bottom of the stairs. We're closer to that ringing noise now. A door sits securely in the wall and looks just as out of place down here as I feel. A sliver of light seeps through, illuminating the area. The door has what looks like a panel with lots of labels and lights. Small embossed print above the panel says, Level 01 entrance gate, transport sector. And there's a button with no label. Push the button or inspect the panel. I mean, the panel says level 01 entrance gate, transport sector. But I don't really know if I want to go around pushing buttons. Oh, that button has no label. And then there's... Top! I know it's scary. It's a scary game. I mean, we've come this far. I guess we'll just go ahead and push the button. I give the button a push. One of the readings on the panel flickers to life. Outage. That's all it says. It then goes dark. The panel looks like a diagnostic or alert system of some kind, each label meant to communicate some status. Lockdown engaged. Experiment in progress. Shutdown engaged. Those all appear to be off, but one of the phrases has a slowly blinking red light next to it. The only powered light in this whole thing. Abnormal entity breach. What the hell? I slowly push the door open when Dennis suddenly steps in front of me, taking the lead. Let's go, he says. I want to find out what the hell this place is. As Dennis walks through, that ringing or beeping or whatever it is gets a little louder. The door closes behind us with a click. I can't help but notice the wobble in Dennis's step as he lets out a grunt. You sure you're healthy enough to keep going, I ask? It doesn't matter. I don't want to be in the woods right now. He seems scared, something I've never seen before. Angry, yes. Upset, yes. But Dennis is never scared. What did you see? What's so dangerous? I mean, I think we don't know what's dangerous, but I mean, I want to know what he saw, aside from the light. Sorry, Toph is being very active today, so I had to close the door so she wouldn't disturb my recording. Sorry, Toph, I love you. I don't know what it was, boss. It was like someone had left a radio on, crackling, but we don't have any radios at the site. It was, I don't know, it was like something in the forest was moving. I gave him a doubtful look and he cast his eyes to the ground, frustrated. I know how it sounds, he says, but I know what I felt. It was like walking into a funeral parlor, feeling death and gloom everywhere. I've been so preoccupied with my own fear that I nearly forgot about the ringing noise. It had become just background noise. We take a few more steps and I can now see where we are. It makes no sense. Yet another thing that simply seems out of place. The shapes and muted colors of metal are easy to identify, but it just doesn't belong here. And that is the end of chapter 1. This story has already taken a really weird turn, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. I'm really excited to see how my choices impact the game. This is a really, really cool game so far. It's about $3 on Steam, and it's fascinating. I mean, it drew me in right away. It just jumped right into right into the action, and I'm really curious to see where this goes. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay frosty. Much love. Bye. Oh, never mind. There's stuff at the end of each chapter. I lied. Okay, respect the dead. You and 36% of players left Tony's body where you found it. So most people tried to move his body. Secrets. You and 76% of players were upfront with Dennis about Tony's death. I couldn't not tell him. Trust. You and 55% told Dennis you believed his story. That's pretty split right there. I wonder what would have happened if we had doubted his story. Curiosity. You and 25% of players ran away from the ringing sound. Ha! We're a bunch of chickens. So it seems like most people went to investigate the ringing sound. Interesting. Okay. All right, well, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day. Stay frosty again. Much love again. Bye-bye.